Yo. I'm just playing. What's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, Content Animator. And I'm here with my cousin, Teddy. And we're here to give you a review of tonight's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, on October, 27th, 2013. And, good pay-per-view, I think, tonight.
No, I'm just kidding. It was alright.
Oh yeah, I thought my cousin hasn't really
I haven't watched it in so long.
He hasn't watched it in a while. So like I say, I got my cousin on review because my cousin's anything with wrestling, especially history.
I'll say this: this is how outdated I am. I literally thought every time someone touched a cell, they were gonna bust open. That's how out of the loop I am on this wrestling right now.
So yeah, my he's straight up Attitude Era, straight up Ruthless Aggression too.
Yeah,
Ruthless Aggression Era, and if you want, it's basically my cousin and my brothers, the guys who I go to when I have wrestling questions.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. This dude knows his shit. So
yeah, I'm about to look like I don't know my shit right now. For watching that.
So and usually like I do, I talk about the build up to the pay-per-view. So it was a pretty okay build up to this pay-per-view. You basically dealing with a lot of stuff with Daniel Bryan. The only problem with the build up was that it's just the same old with these stories. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton's been going through this story ever since SummerSlam. Punk's been going through his story ever since Money in the Bank. And, the Shield has been every single main event we've been seeing a Shield in there. So, that's the basically problem with this pay-per-view is that, the build-up was that just we need to get over with these stories. So, we start off with the Kickoff Show, which was the first match of the Kickoff Show was...
Kofi Kingston.
It was Kofi Kingston versus Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
Pretty okay match.
It was alright.
Yeah, it was an okay match.
Again, haven't been watching it so long. I wasn't ready for how Kofi Kingston's tights had changed. And I'm so out of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was coming back after an injury. I didn't know it was just Kofi Kingston had changed and
yeah, like I was telling my cousin, Kofi Kingston's still looking for that push, but the reason why they had this match is because Curtis Axel was injured. And Curtis Axel was supposed to face Big E. So in the pre-show, they did a whole thing where the Shield and Big E had a little argument. Big E was on the commentary, and the Shield, it was on the commentary today. It was Dolph Ziggler,
and R-Truth,
and
which I gotta say had the best suit of that day.
R-Truth, I can tell R-Truth got those preacher suits.
I swear, I thought he was gonna start telling us a praise Lord and Jesus.
You should see. I'm gonna show you his Hell in a Cell thing.
Really?
He actually does that.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you.
He was dressed for the part. I believe that.
But so it was a pretty okay kickoff show. They actually made a match for Big E later in the night, so we got that there. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view started off with a tag team triple threat match,
which I was kind of, after watching the build up to it, I didn't know why the Usos were there because they showed the whole pre thing. The Usos were never in that whole thing. So
the Usos was basically there because they won the number one contendership, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think damn near 4 weeks ago they won that number one contendership. And because of storyline reasons, Triple H ended up putting Cody Rhodes and Goldust inside of a match for the titles with the Shield.
Yeah.
So, they ended up getting that.
Yeah.
So it ended up just being a triple threat match because you got the Shield who lost their titles who deserved a rematch.
Yeah.
And then you got Usos who for number one contenders. So they was like, fuck it, we killed two birds with one stone.
You're right. I just felt like the Usos were out of place in that whole fight.
I mean, they were out of place because they're not part of the storyline.
Yeah.
They just got to get rid of that number one contenders.
It was still a great match, though.
Oh, no. So, going on to the match, I was telling my cousin that Cody Rhodes and Goldust and the Shield have been putting on these phenomenal matches for the last couple pay-per-views. For when they got their jobs back at Battlegrounds, I think it was, and they had a phenomenal tag team match. I mean, one for the books, and so that happened and stuff, and then they've been having some really good matches on SmackDown and stuff like that. So it's been some pretty good things. And this match right here, like my cousin was saying, it was really good.
It was fun to watch.
Very high pace. It started off a little slow.
Well, it did because at first I don't think they realized what was going on in the match. Like, I put it this way: I always think whenever I see a triple threat, I'm going to see everybody in the ring.
Yeah.
And that always kind of just drops.
Even the announcers didn't really know the rules to the match. So, that was kind of weird. And I think that, I don't know if they could have did it where all 3 guys is in the ring. I don't know how well it would have worked.
They used to, but I guess it's easier to build a story that way. I thought they were going to go for like that old thing where you tag in both tag team partners. Mm-hmm. Randomly, but they didn't do that, so I give them props for that. Because I would have did that in my scrubby ass. I would have been like, let's go to that old saying story.
So pretty good, a really good match, matter of fact. Really nice ending, and comes out with the Rhodes brothers to win it. Yeah. At first, I picked the Usos to win.
I put Usos in the same category, and I'm sorry, even though I'm the Hart Dynasty, I put them in that same category just because I'm like, they're not going to do anything with these guys unless literally someone in the family pushes them. Yeah. Because I don't know why that's so hard for them to do. I guess until like Rock comes out with another DVD or something, I don't.
Even then you got the other Samoan guy that's on the Shield. He's Rock's cousin too. Yeah,
they'll push him before they push those guys. Yeah. And I really like the Usos. They've been around for a long time, and I believe they're tag team.
Like I tell you, the Usos, because they've been getting a really good build lately. Yeah. So their chances coming soon. It's just that Cody Rhodes and Goldust are the hot thing right now, and those tag team belts go better on them for right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit more to the story, which is great. And Usos will eventually get it, but when I was watching that match, I was just like, they're so out of place. Even if they win, it could not tell any storyline. They would literally interrupt the storyline if they won. So I just was already against it.
So Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes Dynasty won that. And then after that, the Miz was backstage with earlier in the night, the Miz was backstage with Vicky. He was saying how he wants the Wyatts, and the Wyatts fucked him up the other day, so he really wants the Wyatts. So then gang of other shit happened. So the Miz comes out, and Bray Wyatt cuts a really nice promo on the screen, and the Miz is talking bullshit. I don't really care what the Miz is saying.
I will put it this way: I have never seen a crowd in WWE not react to a person coming out there in so long. He came out, one lady was clapping, another person was yarning, and other people were like leaving and digging in their ears. They were just doing everything but acknowledging the Miz. And I was like, why do they hate him all of a sudden? I thought the whole point was to hate Miz. He's telling me he's a face. I'm like, Miz is a face? When has he ever been a good guy? And why would they do that to him? I'm like, Miz is not usable as a face. He's always been a gimmicky character.
So basically what happened, Bray Wyatt cuts his promo, they basically, Miz didn't really get a chance to say shit here. Yeah. He cut his promo, then they shut the lights off, lights come back on, and the Wyatt family attacks Miz.
And then we get reactions.
Yeah, that's when we finally get reactions once the Wyatt family does it. Like I've been telling everybody, Bray Wyatt, if you put a story behind Bray Wyatt is really good character. He has that whole Undertaker feel. You just got to give him good in-ring stuff, and you got to give him a match. He was injured, so that's the reason why they didn't really do anything here with him. But the surprise of that thing was Kane returning. Yeah. And Kane
film had just finished.
Yeah. So it looks like he's either done with the film.
No, he's done if he's coming back. Oh, really? I'm assuming so since he came back. Nobody would come in mid movie film, and that'd be kind of weird. But now he's done, so...
Yeah, so, Kane came back, and he choke slams... He beats the shot at other guys, and surprisingly choke slams the Miz as well.
Which might have been Miz's biggest pop.
Yeah, it was.
I was kind of sad for Miz. I was like, damn, Miz, I hope this turns you heel, so you can get back on that train that you used to be on.
So, this should be good for storyline going into what's the Survivor Series? Yeah. So, next match of the night was Fandango and Summer Rae. This is Summer Rae's debut versus Kylie and Natalya. Now, before we talk about this match, I would like to say this. I watched Summer Rae off of NXT. Summer Rae's, she's whatever in the ring, but she has character to her. So, I was expecting something for her debut, and I like that they debuted her in the pay-per-view match, because divas they don't really give a fuck about the divas. So, she got character to her, and she got all this stuff. It's nice to see Natalya back in the ring, but Great Khali, he doesn't need to be in that fucking ring. Yeah. It was a pretty...
Well, Khali, like you said, he's a gimmick now. Yeah. He's just this big guy. Everybody just...
He's a carnival attraction. Yeah. The wrestling started off as carnival attraction, and that's where Khali is. He's a carnival attraction. I say the one thing about this match, it had good storytelling in it. Yeah. It told a lot of story, especially between Summer Rae and Natalya.
And then to make me feel even older, Michael Cole goes, yeah, they've been having back and forth on Twitter. I was like, oh god, they're fighting on Twitter now?
Yeah, Twitter's like a big thing in WWE right now.
God.
So
how old am I?
Summer Rae and Fandango end up coming out with the win. So happy to see her get her win on her debut. WWE is known for screwing people over on their debut sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy to see her get a win. Summer Rae and Fandango get a win.
She got the same. I still say she got the same win as Fandango did at WrestleMania. I was like, did they just have nothing for her?
Think for her, she got a little bit more wrestling.
Well, she actually
Fandango. You don't know how I felt about that pay per view.
Well, that whole pay per view was kind of buggy.
Yeah. So Fandango, his beginning thing was just horrible to me. Yeah. That was like the worst thing on that WrestleMania this year. So it was a pretty okay match.
Speaking of that, a guy who made his debut on there gets a match against one of the Shield.
Who,
the guy.
Oh yeah, he did make his debut on there.
Yeah, he did.
He made his pay-per-view debut. I think he was already. He
made his fight. He fought Kane
debut. So the next match we had was for the United States Championship. This was basically their gift to Big E, saying we're sorry for Curtis Axel being a suck ass. So it was Dean Ambrose versus Big E Langston. Put on a pretty nice match. To my cousin's surprise, we got to see a little bit of blood in this match.
I was almost befounded on it because I was just like, is he bleeding? Like, I immediately could see the blood on his eyes.
Yeah, I think he ran into Dean Ambrose's chin.
The dude's got the weirdest clothesline I've ever seen. He literally throws his whole chest at you.
Yeah, he's a
and clotheslines you with his chest.
He's a big fucker, you know. So
weird.
It was a pretty good match. Big E was really quick in it. The match ends with a count out on Dean Ambrose. Yeah. So Big E gets the win. He even at the end of the match does his big ending on Dean Ambrose and holds the title up. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with this. I don't know if they're going to take Big E and put him in something with Dean Ambrose, or is they going to take him and put him in something versus Curtis Axel. To tell you the truth, I just want them to get that belt off of Curtis Axel, either retire the belt like my cousin's been saying, or get the belt off of Curtis Axel, because Curtis Axel came out as a Paul Heyman guy. He was in part of a feud with CM Punk. It is no way in hell Curtis Axel should be this weak of a character after getting all that. People have been saying, oh, well, his feud with CM Punk is really done nothing for him. How can you not have Paul Heyman?
They pretty much buried him in that match, actually.
I mean, they buried him, but I'm talking about character-wise.
Yeah, character-wise, he should be more of
He has Paul Heyman behind him.
I liked his wrestling. Even though he was getting beat up the whole time, I believed his character more than I believed the other guys.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, which one are you talking about? Curtis Axel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis Axel, he's good.
No, I just say that because his whole gimmick is that he's like damn near Mark Henry, a little bit smaller. Right?
No, not him.
Oh, who are we talking about?
Paul Heyman. Mr. Perfect's son.
Oh, Mr. Perfect. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, no. Big E is the Big shit.
Okay. Now
Big E is the shit. Big E. He was supposed to have a match with Curtis Axel. Michael McGillicuddy.
All right.
He was supposed to have a match with him.
Yeah.
But Michael McGillicuddy Curtis Axel got injured. So they didn't have the match. So basically, Curtis Axel, he's Paul Heyman. He's a Paul Heyman guy right now.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, now I'm starting to figure the story.
Yeah, he's a Paul Heyman guy right now, and
and the credit goes down.
So yeah, like I said, they need to get the belt off of him. He has the IC title right now.
Yeah.
They need to find a way to get that belt off of him and get it to Big E, or continue this feud with Big E and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Because Big E is a guy who's, John Cena's even though how much I don't like John Cena, I like the fact that he's actually making a WWE push a black dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a pretty cool little match.
It was a great match, but I still say that the guy got buried really hard. Big E just ran over the guy.
Yeah.
And even no matter how much he taunted him, it was just nothing he could do to make that work. It was just like, it was literally a show off for Big E. So yeah. I'm happy for Big E.
Well, Dean Ambrose been in the main event this whole time. He's part of the main event scene right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he could take it.
I mean, hey, I was like, he could take it, but I'm like, he's supposed to be the champion. He's not. Eventually, he just got fed up and got counted out. Right. Yeah. So that was like the deal, but he didn't come off of that match looking like he could even wrestle the guy, which was weird because he looks like a great wrestler.
Oh no, his thing is.
Got it.
Sorry about that, people.
Damn, you just blew everyone's speaker.
Look at that. That's all fucked up. I've been doing these reviews for like months now, and I can't even remember to turn my fucking phone off.
That's how it is. Okay.
So, next match was CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. The funniest part about the beginning of the match is Paul Heyman coming out in this goddamn
that poor man that had to drive that thing out there.
He had to drive this little thing out here to lift Paul Heyman up to the top of the cage. And Paul Heyman basically stood on the top of the cage for the whole match.
He didn't get to that cage fast.
No,
the guy that was driving him was like literally he was having some malfunctions. Yeah. Paul Heyman had to smile and grin like 8 different times at the camera. And eventually the commentating team just gave up on it. They were just like, the guy can't get him to the cage. He's just not going to make it. He's just like, he might have to climb that cage himself.
Yep. So, the match itself between CM Punk and Ryback, I thought it was a pretty good match.
I liked it.
It was way better than their Battleground match, which was slow as hell. I think with Ryback especially, you got to carry him a lot of the times. Ryback doesn't have the stamina that somebody like Big E has, or even somebody like Big Show has, surprisingly. I don't know what's up with Ryback right now.
I would put it this way. I don't think he botched anything in that match.
He didn't botch anything.
That might have been a clean match as far as
okay, put it like this. I think it also was that I think they gave Ryback just more time. I think because of the cage, he had more time to rest in between moves.
Yeah.
To get himself back up. But yeah, it was a pretty good match here. Nothing really bad happened. We even had a table spot here, so you can't really complain. Yeah. CM Punk actually gets the win, so I have no idea where they're going with the story. I really want them to end.
Well, he climbs up and beats the shit. Well, yeah. He really definitely beat that team down.
He climbs up to the top of the cage and beats up Paul Heyman. And basically, we was thinking like he's gonna throw Paul Heyman off the top of that cage.
I didn't know what they were gonna do. I'm like, why is he up there? Like, and I knew he wasn't gonna throw him because that cage again. Hadn't been watching any of these pay-per-views. I was like, why is this cage so much bigger than it used to be? Like, I'm like, and then again, like I said, people were hitting this cage, but nobody was bleeding. So I'm like, who helped them build this cage? Like the Nerf Foundation? like this cage is unbreakable, yet it's not making anybody bleed. So I was very confused by that. And then he's all the way at the top. CM Punk climbs up there.
CM Punk, he puts the kendo stick inside his drawers.
At first, I thought it was
inside his wrestling gear.
Yeah, he was like, he couldn't do it the first time, and I'm just wondering like, oh, I know, it's like he's just stabbing himself in the back. At first, I thought he had an itch. And then eventually
I think he did scratch his back at first.
He had a bunch of weird things with that, and then he finally gets up there, beats the shit out of Paul Heyman, and there you go. That's the final. That should be the end of the story. Paul Heyman got his ass whooped, which everybody wanted.
It's wondering where they're going to go with this next, but CM Punk ends up getting a win, and he beats the shot of Paul Heyman, so he basically gets everything he wants to next. They could go against him versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, Survivor Series, but I think they want to say that to probably WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Because it'll be their second match. Brock Lesnar already won one, so that'll be the last person he got to get.
They got many rumors with that WrestleMania, it ain't even funny.
Yeah, I know. So, CM Punk won that. Next, let's see, was Los Matadors versus the Real Americans. It's been like about a week or so build up. They haven't really done anything for this match as far as build up goes.
The only guy that's shining through that is the Matador, actually. Yeah, he's the biggest shine of that. The
little bull is the only thing that, like I said, I was telling everybody, if it wasn't for that little bull, Los Matadors would be just a normal gimmick.
Yeah, that's
the little dude is I think he's like a big star in Mexico and stuff like that as far as the luchadors go. But it was an okay match. Cesaro did his big swing. Yeah. The luchadors did their thing. I mean, Matadors did their thing. Matadors end up winning. So
the finisher that we didn't know was a finisher.
I don't know why they just don't use their regular finisher.
Well, those are bigger dudes. I remember their old.
No, they did it on. Never mind.
No, I'm like,
they did it on Heath Slater.
Yeah, I was like, that's not a bigger guy.
No, I was about to say.
I was gonna say that move looked a lot like more demanding on them. This one looked just like a normal. Yeah,
their normal finishing move is a it's a tag team finishing move.
Yeah,
it's way better than this. And I don't know what they're trying to do. So it didn't really look good at all.
Well, they're still trying to figure that team out.
I guess so.
And again, they need to start doing triple threats with that. Not triple 6-man tag teams. I want to see the Matador in there.
I don't know if Zip's gonna lose old.
He might be old, but he ain't really, I just want to see the little one wrestle. Okay. I don't care what he does. Yeah. He can sit in the back all day. I want to see that guy wrestle. I just think he's the best thing to that team.
So yeah, the Matadors won, and then the little bull beats up on all three of the guys basically. Swagger, Cesaro, and Coulter. Hits spears or whatever you call it, horns, Coulter in the stomach, some shit like that.
Yeah.
They do a gang of other stuff, and next match, World Heavyweight Championship match, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. It was another okay match.
It was like WrestleMania, wasn't it? Like, didn't they wrestle at WrestleMania?
No, it was them. It was Cena and The Rock.
Oh, my bad. No, not that one. They have wrestled before.
Yeah, they've wrestled before. They've wrestled like at another pay-per-view or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an okay match. Cena isn't coming out with the win here. It's not too much to say about this. It's a normal fucking match. They didn't really do anything with after Cena won the belt. So I'll say in my prediction that they were the best way for them to do this was to let Cena hold that belt for a couple of weeks so he can put some more prestige onto that belt, because really right now, since Del Rio has had the belt for damn near over a year now, he's had it off and on for a while. Just that belt hasn't been put in it's supposed to be the WWE's second biggest title.
Yeah.
And it's really been their...
I could have told you it was nowhere near that though.
Yeah, it's nowhere near. It's it starts off the show sometimes. So that's how that's how even though I think it's a good idea to start off the show, because it gets everybody into the show. But if you put the other belts up and say, okay, the tag team belts are as big as are good, have good wrestlers in it, you can start off with that. The World Championship belt should be one of the ending of the night's theme.
Yeah.
Right along with the WWE title. So having John Cena with the belt helps in that, that esteem as well.
Yeah.
We have no idea what they're going to do next. You still got, what's the boy's name? Whoever has the Money in the Bank, I can't remember his name right now.
He just had his match. See, now, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'll say it.
He was the one who fought against
Kofi, yeah. So yeah, he still has his Money in the Bank, and we'll see where they go from this. Next, we had a Divas match where it was AJ Lee versus Brie Bella.
I fell asleep. I ain't even gonna front like I know that. This is all you.
Let me tell you this: everybody's with you right now.
I mean, Divas I don't even think they were bad.
You know what they call a Divas match nowadays?
What?
Bathroom break.
All I'm saying is that it was the weirdest time to put their match there. They literally just
it was a filler match.
Dropped it in the middle.
It was a filler match. As far as a Divas match, it was an okay match. It's really not much you're going to get out of Brie Bella. She's gotten better with her wrestling, but she's still not. She can't even hold up AJ Lee for AJ Lee's finisher. AJ Lee does a spinning into her Black Widow submission, and she can't. AJ Lee had to spin slowly as fuck, because either that or she was going to take the girl's head off.
Yeah.
So the last spot of the match was Brie Bella ends up accidentally kicking her sister. So I don't know where they're going to go with that, but AJ Lee ends up winning, and I don't really know where they're going to go with this. It's been better than it usually is, but it hasn't been a lot of story to the Diva stuff right now. After that,
it's the last one.
Last match of the night,
which was so awkward because I fell asleep and I wake up to I hear voices. I'm like, oh god. So
last match of the night was Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the vacant WWE title, and guest referee Shawn Michaels. I thought it was a really nice match. Way better than our last two matches. Just by putting in a cell, it's way better. One of the big things of the night, he didn't get a chance to see this.
I walked away.
Yeah, he had walked away for a minute, and one of the biggest parts of the night was Daniel Bryan was throwing he threw 10 chairs into the ring.
Yeah. I like Terry Funk over
there. Some shit like that. They were chanting ECW and stuff.
Yeah.
The one fucked up part was Randy Orton was supposed to do a superplex off the ropes onto the chairs.
Oh, that wasn't gonna happen.
Daniel Bryan missed the chairs damn near completely.
Wow. So he actually got it off. He just missed.
Yeah, he missed. Wow. Randy Orton didn't push the chairs close enough, or he didn't throw them good enough.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he got his legs though. So Daniel Bryan had to play it off like the legs got hit. Okay. But I mean, just that idea. Great intent. Just they didn't. Randy Orton didn't get him all the way over there. So like I said, it was a pretty good match. Several things happened in here. This story of the match was basically Triple H came out and he was arguing with Shawn Michaels.
Okay, and this is what the whole event we were having a problem with. We could hear everything in the ring.
Yeah.
We heard everything.
They had the mic under the ring up. Either the mic under the ring was up loud or the cameraman's mic was loud. Because you can hear everything. And during the Big E and Dean Ambrose match, we heard Dean Ambrose go belly to belly.
Belly to belly.
So, and then he basically called belly to belly. So, you can hear everything in the ring, them calling their moves and stuff like that.
Which I'm pretty sure they did it for this main event because Triple H was talking to Shawn Michaels. Randy Orton was talking to Shawn Michaels. You heard Shawn Michaels talking to everybody. The mics were up for that match, but they had it up through the whole event, which was just crazy. You could hear everything. It was annoying, actually.
So Randy Orton ends up. What happened? Daniel Bryan was. Shawn Michaels had got hit by Randy Orton. Randy Orton accidentally, Daniel Bryan pushed Randy Orton into Shawn Michaels. Yeah. So they did the whole thing of the referee falls and stuff. So then I don't know why.
No matter what happens, if you're wearing a referee shirt, someone bumps into you, it's like being hit by dynamite. You just blow up and never get up.
So I was thinking, I was like, this is Shawn Michaels.
I know. I was like, Shawn Michaels can't take bumps now.
Yeah.
I saw the man dancing around against Hulk Hogan. He was taking major bumps.
So Triple H demands to get inside the ring to help Shawn Michaels out, and Daniel Bryan's over there trying to help Shawn Michaels out, trying to say you got to get up, and Triple H throws Daniel Bryan to the other side of the ring, and then once Triple H starts checking on Shawn Michaels, playing it off, Daniel Bryan gets pissed off and does the running knee into Triple H and knocks Triple H out. Shawn Michaels gets up, sees that Triple H is down, and sees that Daniel Bryan did this. Super kicks Daniel Bryan. Randy Orton goes for the pin, covers, and Shawn Michaels is standing there like, I don't fuck.
Yeah, they had a few finishes. They
had some pretty good finishes here. So it ends up Shawn Michaels says I have to do this, so he counts Daniel Bryan out. And Randy Orton ends up getting the pin for the victory.
A new screw job.
And the new victory is Randy Orton WWE Championship.
Yeah. So weird. They retelling that kind of screw job again with him.
Yeah, to me, Daniel Bryan has been trying to go for this belt for 3 or 4. This is the 4th pay-per-view. There was SummerSlam, he won it. Then he got beat by Randy Orton, cashed in on him, the Money in the Bank on him. Then after that was Night of Champions. He won it again, and then they said it was a fast count, so they took the belt off of him. Then Battlegrounds, it was a vacant belt, but Big Show came and interrupted, and now you get this. So I don't know when they're expecting to give Daniel Bryan this belt. I'm kind of getting tired of him fighting like this for this belt, because it's been ever since SummerSlam. That's like 3 months already. He's been trying to fight for this belt, and I don't know where they're going to go with this. They got something to say, okay, Triple H got in the ring and interfered, but it doesn't say that Triple H can say, okay, yeah, you get another shot at the belt. So hopefully whatever they do at Survivor Series puts that belt on Daniel Bryan. And my thing is, give Daniel Bryan a good run with this belt. To me, Daniel Bryan can do it. Everybody knows Daniel Bryan can do it.
I guess that's the whole reason they're doing this, because they know people want to see him win it. They just don't want to give it, maybe.
I don't know. They've been talking about that Triple H is supposedly really wants to bury Daniel Bryan for story-wise. But I'm telling you, I think what's going on in writing right now is they're thinking that, you know what, let's push this as far as we can, and fans will just love it.
Which, again, there hasn't been anybody who's gone through that kind of storyline since Stone Cold or somebody who really has a hard time getting the belt. As soon as you get it, immediately is screwed out of it.
And to me, this is the thing.
Immediately screwed out of his belt.
I think the biggest problem was that they messed up on it before Battlegrounds. If they wouldn't have had that mess up there, then this would have been even a better storyline. They had some faults in the storyline that kind of pushed them into where you start getting tired of it. If it would have stayed exciting through this whole thing, I would be, okay, man, where the hell are they going to go after this? I would be so into the storyline. But, they had a few faults in it, and that's where it leads it to. I'm happy that, they kind of didn't give it to him in one way, because now, it was a clean victory for Say. Well, not a clean victory. It's not a clean victory.
He got kicked in the face.
Yeah, okay, what do we call it? It's a victory.
It was a finish.
We had
a winner.
Yeah, last 2 pay-per-views, no winner.
Yeah.
So at least this victory was okay. Yes, we have a winner, and there's nothing that you can say for Randy Orton. It's a no DQ match. Yeah. So Randy Orton gets the belt, and he earned the belt basically. Even if somebody interfered, that's the name of the match.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to what they're going to do with story here. As far as the whole pay-per-view goes. I'll put it to you like this. It was way better than Battlegrounds. Do I think it was the best pay-per-view ever? Hell no. SummerSlam, as far as this year, was the best pay-per-view of the year. If I was to score it, I would say it was a good B.
I have no score since this. It's like my coming back party.
As far as just pay-per-views in general, how'd you feel?
Pay-per-views in general? Well, if you go off of what I've last watched, I mean, it'd be a B because the last pay-per-view I watched was WrestleMania, which I gave that almost a D. It was like a C.
Yeah, to me, WrestleMania was like a C. It had good things at the end, but the majority of the pay-per-view was slow, and it just had a lot of problems.
But no, I understand. And it is weird, though, to see all the changes now. Especially, I was even more confused, but thank God I realized, like, they said it. They were doing this whole pink thing, and I was like, why is everybody wearing pink? Why is everybody wearing pink?
So yeah, this review's been going on for 30 minutes, a little long, but this is a paper. No, it's cool. It's a pay-per-view. If you want to watch it, you watch it. So yeah, like I say, I give it a B. It's a pretty. I think it was nothing that during the pay-per-view that had me say, oh, that's whack. Every match was okay to good.
Yeah.
We even had we had like 2 or 3 great matches here. Tag team match was pretty good. Was really good.
I would not say any match was bad, actually. Every match was good. Yeah. It just, it just didn't go with the theme of the pay-per-view, as far as I know. Yeah. Like the Hell in a Cell kind of just did not.
We wanted a little bit more brutality, a little bit more hell in this, and it just didn't give us that.
Well, yeah.
So you can find me anywhere on the internet at BitChris145 or Compton Animator on Twitter. I'm at Compton Animator. You want to give out your
Hell no. They can't find me. I'm too old.
So yeah,
I'm just an old internet wizard.
Like I always say, comment, like, subscribe, dislike. I really don't care. So yeah, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.